You are a hostage negotiator.
Yes. Brittany Griner, Trevor Reed, Otto Warmbier, the guy.
So you were involved with Brittany Griner.
Yes.
And if I have a negotiator here, I want to see you in action. I'm going to give you a scenario.
Okay.
And you got to negotiate the win. You
trouble.
promised your wife a dinner at the hottest restaurant in town. I'm the host at the restaurant. You haven't made a reservation. Convince me to let you two sit at 8 p.m.
Trust me.
Chez Paris.
Oh, I go in person.
You go in person.
I go in person. What's your name?
Mauricio.
Mauricio. Look, are you in a relationship right now?
What is this all about? I have a busy restaurant to tend to.
I understand, but I have a huge favor to ask you. I screwed up.
Sir, hold on, excuse me. Lorenzo, we're gonna 86 the seafood special. Welcome to the new JTrain podcast. Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. This is JTrain, Jared Freid, coming to you live from Feather Nation Studio. We're here every Monday with your emails, your stories, your questions. I want to encourage you. Email us, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. Send in your questions, life advice. I love a friendship issue, relationship problems, anything you'd like. Also your luxury lounge issues. And we've done some new segments here. If you have heard a segment on a past episode, how about underrated and annoying? Is there things that you are underrated embarrassment? Isn't that what was it? What things that people should be more embarrassed about?
Yeah, people should be more embarrassed about this, but also like less embarrassed about this.
Right. Give us the more and less embarrassed.
Yours was blowing nose in public we should be more embarrassed about.
More embarrassed.
But picking should not.
Should not be embarrassed. Right. Someone wrote to me, farting inside a bathroom. I'm like, yeah, we should be less embarrassed about that. Why are we're in the bathroom. That's the place to fart. Like, and I do feel that in myself. If I'm to be vulnerable here on the JTrain podcast, I'll say it here. You fart in a bathroom, you're like, maybe I shouldn't be. And you're like, what are you, if not here, where? If not now, when? So send those in. Am I crazy, dogs? We love that segment. The email is for you to get shit off your chest. I created the luxury lounge with my bare hands, leather-bound books and sofas for you to come in and get things off your chest and really gush. That's what this podcast is for. That's what that email is for. It is free therapy. So keep sending your emails, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. Share. Let people know about this show. We want you to share. Comment. Let us know what you think. Today, we have a very special guest, Mickey Bergman, who is a hostage negotiator. He has a new book, In the Shadows, True Stories of High-Stakes Negotiations to Free Americans Captured Abroad. He was involved with getting Brittany Griner home. He's currently involved with what's going on in the Middle East and the hostages there. What an unbelievable guest. What an unbelievable story. And we play a game. We have him do life negotiations. So maybe his negotiation tactics could help you. You never know. There were lessons learned, I gotta say. But we're going to do a mailbag. Moving for a job, not a guy. Hello. I have a long-distance relationship question. Oh, and before we get into this, speaking of distance, I'm on the road, people. Come to a show, jaredfreid.com, adding dates all the time. Just added Sacramento, West Hampton Beach, Cleveland, Atlantic City, Newark. Also, if you go to my ticket page on my website, I'm working with this new site called Punch Up that there's a 22-minute clip, never before aired. Ooh. Never before aired. If you go to tickets, my Punch Up page, The Ick Show, 23 minutes from the Comedy Cellar. This is like a year and a half ago at this point. We taped this Ick Show. We're going to keep putting out clips from the Ick Show, but I got West Hampton Beach, Atlantic City, Newark, we're already past New Orleans. hopefully we got something going on there. But I'm coming. Go down a little bit and go up a little bit. Go to show all shows. Nashville. Nashville's coming. That'll be great weekend. I love going to Nashville. And then I'm coming to Nashville, West Hampton Beach, Brookfield, Wisconsin, which is like outside of Milwaukee. I think it's like the Republican National Convention that weekend. Like I think I'm fucked as a hotel is concerned. I thought I was going to stay downtown. I guess not. Atlantic City, Newark, Sacramento, and then Cleveland. So I'm coming, and then we're adding some dates in the fall. I've already gone over that with my team. There's more dates to come.
You're everywhere.
I never stop. I love to make people laugh. And just bring the crew, assemble the group chat. If I'm coming back, like Nashville, that weekend, it was the weekend before I found out I got the Netflix special. So that weekend I had like half of like the new material being done. So now I'm going to come back with the full set, but I'll try and do some newish stuff. Maybe Nashville's like my home of new. That's where maybe I'll come back yearly because I'm going to talk about Europe and dating. I the new set wasn't a lot of dating stuff. Now I'm in my dating talk era. I'm back to talking about dating. I don't know. I took a break. I was talking about family. I still have more family stuff, but the dating stuff. You went from single to a boyfriend, serious relationship very quickly.
Well, I was in a weird relationship last year, and then I was single when we met. I remember the first time I met you, I was like, yeah, I have a situation where I'm taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And then I remember you giving me some advice on it. And then
was it wanted advice?
No.
No, you were like,
no.
Who's this guy who's just giving me advice?
Was it welcome? I was like, oh, this is cool. I think us working together is actually cool. Like if you can be that comfortable and vulnerable in the beginning. I mean, you're good at that with people. But yeah, I think the difference of this person who I'm with right now is that we've known each other for years, but through friends. But I've always had a crush on him, but he was always like dating someone,
or you were dating someone.
Or I was dating someone. And then at a party, I just told him, we were talking, and for some reason we started talking about our lives. And then he's like, do you want to go out for a date?
What do you mean? You're talking about your lives, and then do you want to go on a date? How did that happen?
Well, we were catching up because we kind of know each other.
Yeah, and you were like, I'm out of something.
Yeah,
I'm
I
single.
just got out. I literally opened it up with, I just froze my eggs in September, and I got out of a relationship a couple months later. And he was like, oh, that's great.
I think this is a lesson for anyone out there. If you've frozen your eggs, sing it, sister. Tell people.
Yeah.
Tell men. People, I mean, here's the thing. I'm not saying you have to I'm not trying to tell you to change how you are because of a man. Mm-hmm. But if you want to look from the male side of things, if I heard that eggs are in the fridge, out of a relationship, I'm like, oh, we're in the chill zone.
Yeah.
Now we can get to know each other. There's no pressure on this. There's no, what are we doing? There's no family. What's going on? I don't know. It relieves from the other side. It rings chill.
It wasn't a relief when I first did it. I was just like, I need to get this over with because I just like, I found an opportunity to in my schedule. And I was like, this is a few months later. I think after the relationship ended, I was like, oh, I'm chilling. Like, this is great. This is no
one
rush.
thing, not. And especially when it opens with that with a guy.
I never had that intention because I saw him as a friend.
Right.
So I was like, chill.
I wouldn't even assume it was the intention, but it's just, I think from now you're actually like talking. You're actually getting more personal than maybe you even feel you're getting with someone.
I mean, I also talk about it because it's something taboo and I wish I had known about it. I feel like this should be something normalized with women, that it's an option that everybody should explore, and there's affordable ways to do it.
Oh, well, that's the thing that I would get nervous about. Even in this conversation, like someone could be like, it costs an arm and a leg. I don't want to have to pay.
I did it abroad.
And you did it abroad.
I did it in Greece.
You're like one of those bald guys going to Turkey to get their hair done.
Yeah. My neighbor, she works in health care, and she helps set up women abroad. in London and Spain,
Wow.
everywhere. Like that, it's basically.
Where did you go?
I went to Greece because
Yeah.
I do have family there, and I have a family home there, so it was just easier. It was like visiting and just doing it.
Get it done.
I did it, and it was great, and I ate a lot. I just chilled, and it's 2 weeks out of your life abroad, and I did it, and my peoples are in Greece right now.
Eat, pray, spawn.
Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I really encourage it. There are affordable ways to go about it and make a trip out of
Okay.
it. But yeah.
That's a great travel company. Shouldn't there be like 2-week trips? You bring a bunch of women.
That's what
Everyone
she
gets their
does.
eggs. Is that what they do? Were you with a bunch of women who did it?
No, but she does it with sometimes groups of women, mostly.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Like, hey, come to Greece. We'll get those eggs out of you.
Yeah.
We'll put some feta in you.
And you'll have a great time.
Sit at the beach.
Yeah. It might be a tiny bit uncomfortable, but you'll forget about it. You'll be great.
Right, you're somewhere cool to keep your mind off it.
Yeah.
As opposed to New York City apartment locked away.
Yeah, it's a little bit, it's different. Everywhere is different, but I really encourage it. But, it was a great experience. And, now I'm chilling.
Mamma mia. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Mama, get these eggs out of me.
Is that a thing sometimes with men that dating is like, oh,
I think when you
Where-
hear that someone's got their eggs frozen, there's just like, it's not like, oh, goody, but it's like, okay, it's almost like someone's, it's the amount of, it's like there's a realistic, I think men are fixers. And I'm not the first to ever say that. I think we're like mathematical, like A plus B equals C. And I think that is a very male thing. It rings male to me to be like, I got this thing. I want it off my mind. Let me put a little bow on it. And I think when the freezing eggs solution to an issue someone might be having, or just the worry, the concern, it just feels very. I don't know. I hope that doesn't sound bad. So I think
understand
it
what
like
you're saying.
relates to men
okay.
in a way that's like, ooh, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
No,
I get like, I'm 32 right now. So I just did it when I was 31. And I remember just thinking like, I wonder how it is for guys, like on this side. Like, do they date thinking like, oh snap, we gotta get like, you're probably pressured to have children and stuff.
we're not thinking of it at all,
Okay.
but we get it served to us as like, don't waste my time. So
okay.
I think a lot of, I would think my fear is to waste, you're told, oh, as a guy, you wasted my time. I would be very fearful of being the guy dating someone for so long that now you've taken away something that someone else has wanted. And that happens a lot, where someone goes, I was in this relationship. I felt I was told that they were looking for a family. And then all of a sudden, I don't want a family. And they just say that because they don't want to be with that person. And then, you know what I mean? We see that a lot in this podcast as far as.
No, I mean, honestly, well, back to the original question of I'm in a relationship. It's also, I think I'm lucky to be with someone who's a very intentional person. And it was funny because I remember being like, okay, the next dates I ever go on, I'm going to be like, try to just understand what they want and what I want. He took the lead on all of it.
Right.
And it was different. And then you can see like when someone's in it, you feel it.
Right. How old is he?
He's 36.
Okay.
So 32, 36,
eggs in the freezer.
we're chilling right
Chilling?
now. Everybody's chilling. We're good.
We got to fly to Mykonos to pick up the
babies.
The babies.
It's going to be a total baby moon. So yeah.
Well, we're happy for you, V.
Thank you.
Good thing we've discussed the laughing. Now people are
Yes.
getting to know you.
Yes.
And I think the audience, we're
Yeah.
bringing them into the fold here.
If anybody's interested, Conceivable, that's a great company to check out if you want to do it abroad.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's do a mailbag. Hello. I have a long distance relationship question for you. And I'm curious how you would react if you were the guy in this situation. These are the ones I like, where I'll tell you how I'd react. I live in New York City, but I met this guy in Miami while I was there for work, and we really hit it off. I even went back to Miami to specifically see him and go to F1 together. I have been in a life rut living here in New York and not feeling like this is the place where I have the most opportunity and I'm living my best life. Because I work in Miami, I could easily get transferred there if I want to. My question to you, how do I tell a guy that my question to you is, how do I tell a guy I'm talking to in another city that I'm actually going to be moving to the city he lives in? I want it to be so clear that I'm not moving there to ambush him and like force him into a relationship. I'm really reprioritizing my life, and I'm really reprioritizing my life and what I want, and think this will be a good life and work move for me. How do you think I should bring this up to him? I love this. Good for you. I get it. You did New York. Miami offers a lifestyle that you think would fit you and your personality better. That is totally reasonable, and you got the job there waiting for you. I get it. I think with this, people think a little too much into it. I think here's what's hot. I'm going to do this because I want to do that. That's hot. Not, and it might be counterintuitive. Maybe it's not. I don't think what I'm saying is genius at all. But if someone told me I'm moving to Miami because I really think it's a better fit for my lifestyle, my job's going to transfer me, I've just found a new place, I've had a really good time getting to know you. Hopefully we can continue that when I'm in Miami. Act as if. Act as if this is totally normal, because it is. A normal person who is dating you with the best of intentions would go, oh, great. Okay, I'll see you when you're here. There's no promises made. There's no, oh, well, what are we going to do when you get here? Will I see you at the same grocery store? If someone was to get unnerved by that, is unnerved a word? If someone was to get like, I think unnerved is a word. Yeah, to make someone feel less confident, slightly frightened. Yeah, if this guy heard, hey, I just want to let you know my job is going to move me to Miami because I think it's a better lifestyle fit for me. I just want to, and I would get in front of it. I just want to let you know, like, I've been having a really good time getting to know you. Hopefully we can do that when I move to Miami. But this is what's happening. If he was like, well, what are we going to do about the relationship? He didn't want to be in it to begin with. Sometimes distance is about convenience. You have an excuse built in. Sometimes you are hitting it off with someone because of the distance. Because of this distance, I get to be a weekend boyfriend. Some people, they see that as an opportunity. And I don't even think that's a bad thing from them. Maybe that's what they need. They go, okay, good. I can get to know this person for this long. And then a plan has to come up. At some point, where are we going to move? Would you want to come here? It has to be thought of. And that's when things either come together or they fall apart. The pandemic is a good example of this. The pandemic became, what are we going to do for a lot of couples? It became, okay, you live in Miami, I live in New York, we have to quarantine. What are we going to do? Some people went away from their partner. Some people came closer together. It went both ways. In the same way, your situation can go both ways. But do what's best for you and act as if anyone that cares about you would be happy for you. Because they should. And that's what I would say to this person. I'm going to act as if, hey, just want to let you know, got an opportunity to move to Miami. I think it's a better fit for my lifestyle. I'm really excited. I know we've gone on some dates. I hope you don't see this as me showing up at your party with a couple of beers and suitcases to like move into your home, because that's not how I see it. I'd love to see you once I'm settled in. Boom. Maybe it goes one way or the other. We don't know. You will know right away whether this person is taking this seriously. And honestly, that's kind of a nice thing. You go, oh, if he free, oh, what neighborhood are you going to be in? Am I going to have to see you at the gym? Like, that's not an adult. Or that's not an adult who wants to be with you. And good to know you're going to a new city, you're going to meet new people. Have fun.
Kind of sounds a little bit like your reveal.
It is a reveal.
Yeah.
It is a reveal. It's, I statements, acknowledge. We've gone on dates. I'm excited about, the things that we've shared. But again, not getting ahead of yourself. And you're not. Just by saying, I hope we can get together once I'm settled. Once I'm settled is like a good sentence, I think.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Once I have time.
Yeah, once I get settled and I figure this out. But I would also warn against. The one thing I would warn against, I guess, is like, oh well, do you want me to move you? Let him. You do your move.
Mm-hmm.
You get there. Get settled. Let's do another one. This episode is brought to you by BetterHelp. Everybody needs to talk, whether you're going through a huge breakup, a career change, or you just need a sounding board for daily stressors. Therapy is useful for everyone. I love what BetterHelp is doing. They're giving you a place that makes it easier to get into therapy. There's no office to go into. There's no asking a friend for who you should go to. They have a marketplace of therapists. They're going to give you a survey, and they're going to match you up with someone that's right for you, a professional that's right for you. And if you don't like them, you can switch at any time. BetterHelp's online therapy makes it easy to access. Again, accessibility. No matter who you are or what your schedule looks like, you can get in a car, drive to a field, and just park and be in therapy. How great is that? All of your appointments are 100% online. Do therapy whenever and wherever it works for you. Again, get in the car, go park somewhere, and have a conversation. Just fill out a quick survey to get matched with a licensed therapist. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/JTrain today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JTrain. Mailbag. Coffee, not dinner. Jared, quick question for the dating guru. I went for coffee with a girl in my grad school class. It was fun and casual. And after, I texted her asking if she wanted to grab dinner to try and move things in a more romantic direction. She said the next couple weeks are hectic. But why don't we try to grab coffee again sometime? Is this her way of nicely saying she isn't interested? Or should I tell her that I feel like coffee is too networky and I'd rather do drinks? Or should I tell her that I feel like coffee is too networky and I'd rather do a drinks date instead? I like this question because it shows it's not over, but take the message. It's not over, but take the note. I went for coffee with a girl in my grad school class. It was fun and casual. After, I texted her if she wanted to get dinner to try and move things in a more romantic direction. I don't know what the text was, but when you write in a more romantic direction, that lives in the land of vague, and also it's you getting ahead to be turned down. You've put a lot of responsibility on her. If someone texted me that, and we got this question in last week similarly from the female side.
Oh, yeah.
With her kind of putting them in the position of say yes or no to my romantic dinner. That to me would be I don't know, let me just do coffee first. Because, and again, we don't have the text here, so I don't know for sure, but I'm taking your message. I texted her asking if she wanted to grab dinner to try and move things in a more romantic direction. To me, because you said that, you have put the definition of romantic direction up to them. That sucks. When I do stand-up, when I say come to my show, if there's 200 people in the room, there's 200 people with different thoughts of what this show might be. I'd say most of them know it's going to be a stand-up show and have an idea what that is. But a lot of people might be like, oh, maybe he talks to the crowd. Maybe he dances. Maybe he does some magic. You don't know. People, when they hear, it's like, I'll even give a more relatable example. Let's be casual. My version of casual is different than your version of casual, is different than V's version of casual, is different than some rando walking down the street. The word casual could mean we fuck and never speak until we want to fuck again. That's very crude the way I put it. To some people, casual is, well, we get dinner and then we hook up and maybe we meet each other's parents. And you might be sitting there going, parents? Casual is different to everyone. So when you say, I want to move things in a more romantic direction, let's assume on the spectrum of romantic direction, there's, oh my God, this guy's in love with me. She could think that. And he's obsessed with me, which she wouldn't be wrong for thinking on the spectrum. To, this guy likes me and I'm not really sure where I stand on that. So if I were you, and it does sound like you like this person, which good for you. That's fun to like someone. Why don't we try and grab coffee again soon? I would swim with the current. If I'm you, let's go to coffee again. Should I tell her that I feel like coffee is too networky and I'd rather do drinks? No. You don't want to judge someone else's thing while also wanting to do more with them. Hey, do you want to do a dinner date? I feel like that would be a more romantic direction. Hey, the next couple weeks are hectic, but I'd love to do coffee again sometime soon. Well, that might be too networking. They do want to hang with you. So if you like them and you want to keep getting to know them and they are leaving the door open for you to get to know, for them to get to know you by saying, I'll do coffee, let me try this again. Because maybe, here's the other thing. They might have gone to coffee with you thinking this is purely about grad school. Then you go to coffee, you had a nice time, they left thinking, grad school buddy. And then you text, hey, why don't we move this in a more romantic direction? They're like, whoa, I didn't even see it that way. And they're thinking, rerun coffee so I can look at this from that angle. That might be what they're thinking. And I'm being empathetic. This also might mean, hey, give me a couple weeks and hopefully you'll forget about this and stop bothering me. So let's put all of these options on the table. If I'm you, no problem. I'll follow up with you in a couple weeks. A couple weeks go by. Hey, I would love to do coffee if you're around on Thursday. If they give you another no to that and another excuse, time to back off. So again, this is a no to romanticism. This isn't a no to you completely. Life doesn't have many mysteries anymore. Shake things up with Box of Awesome, the monthly box filled to the brim with cool shit. I love this. Bespoke Post is doing you a favor because we're hard on ourselves. You walk in the store, you go, I don't need anything. You never really need anything. So why don't you give yourself the gift of a Box of Awesome that lets you have a moment to act like a kid again? It's like getting a package at summer camp. Whoa, what is this? What's inside? And also, it's going to be filled with items that might become a part of your everyday life. That's the cool part. Find your box by taking their quiz at boxofawesome.com. And they'll get you matched. It's free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel anytime. There's really nothing to lose. 90% of everything that comes in your Box of Awesome is from a small, up-and-coming brand. Again, something you never would have gotten yourself that could become part of your daily routine. Get a free mystery gift with your first monthly shipment when you sign up at boxofawesome.com/JTrain and enter the code JTrain at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com/JTrain. Code JTrain for a free mystery gift with your first monthly shipment. boxofawesome.com/JTrain, code JTrain. Okay, so now we're going to go to Mickey Bergman, who is a hostage negotiator. This guy was awesome. I was so happy to have him on. He was fun, charming. He has a book out, In the Shadows, True Stories of High-Stakes Negotiations to Free Americans Captured Abroad. This guy used to work with Bill Richardson, the congressman, who at one point ran for president, and then he passed away. But they've brought people, Americans home, which is heroic. So that is great. So go listen to Mickey and also get his book. The link is in the bio. Mickey Bergman, thank you for coming on. Now, Mickey has a book out. It's called In the Shadows, True Stories of High-Stakes Negotiations to Free Americans Captured Abroad. You are a hostage negotiator.
Yes, I am, but not for the government.
Not for the government. You're like the you're UPS as opposed to USPS. You're FedEx. You're the private government. You're the private version.
Well, I guess FedEx. I like it because it's more effective.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. But people go to you. Someone's abroad and they want to bring them home. You're the guy.
Yeah, so the families reach out to us. We work on their behalf at no cost to them, of course. But we have their mandate is what we have.
So the book, give me just so people can go buy the book. What's it about?
So I wrote it for 3 reasons. The first one, it's actually about behind the scenes of how these negotiations take place from our perspective, from the non-government entities and agencies in it. Brittany Griner, Trevor Reed, Otto Warmbier, the guy.
So you were involved with Brittany Griner.
Yes.
And, Brittany Griner goes to Russia to play professional basketball because, and they say women's basketball, like you make a good living abroad.
In the off season, yeah. It's
In the
fantastic,
so they make good money. And then she's caught with marijuana.
Not even that. She's caught with residue because she didn't really clean the vessel that she was using for it.
And that gets her taken by the government?
She was targeted. She was
I mean, you have to be targeted.
Yeah. She was taken by the government, accused of trafficking. Sentenced for 8.5 years.
And I mean, that's the scariest. I'm 39. I just think of Broke Down Palace, that movie where it was. If we look it up, it's that's like the only movie I think of is these 2 girls. They go to like on their like to bed or something. They go to like the beat. What is it called? Broke Down Palace. It's with Claire Danes, and they
I
get
like her. She's great.
Yeah, this movie's fantastic, and they go Kate Beckinsale, and they're 2 friends, and someone puts something in their luggage, and suddenly they're in jail in Thailand or something like that.
Yeah.
And this is like my first thought, like that's the scariest thing in the world, especially in a world that gets smaller, because everyone sees a place on Instagram and they go, I gotta go. Right now, Turks and Caicos has people they are holding for finding ammo in their
Correct. They actually there's a warning at State Department. Not that when you book your flight to Turks and Caicos, you don't go on the travel warning on State Department, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's not my first look. I'm thinking I'm going on a beach vacation. Like when I saw Turks and Caicos, that is like the hottest place right now, like as far as vacations
Turks
are
and
concerned.
Caicos cracked down on ammunition transfer. So they have a minimum 12 years in prison for passing ammunition. And there are a few, look, some people do it. Yeah, you need to pay attention. You don't bring ammunition on planes.
But that's the thing.
However,
both sides are crazy on that. Like you go, why are you traveling with?
But we have my good friend John Franks. He's working on these cases. He actually brought a bunch of them back home just in the last 2 weeks. There was a couple that went on vacation. The husband is a hunter. He had 2 rounds of this that were not caught by TSA were going in, but they caught it on the way back.
Right.
And they arrested both of them. Not only him, even though it was his bag and his ammunition. And a couple their kids are back home. There's no parents.
Right. And what are they? Is it a grab for money from these governments?
No, they're trying to. It's a domestic political thing. Like there's fighting of how we're going to stop Americans from coming in with ammunition. So it's kind of a most of politics are domestic. In that case, the same thing. And then they needed to have some arm twisting and differentiating between those who are just people who brought ammunition. I mean, like boxes of ammunition. You don't do that.
Right.
And people who by mistake had a leftover something.
But there's no mistakes to them. They go, this is our country.
Correct.
You're not going to, we have
correct.
to show our power.
And it's
but the Brittany Griner thing, you were involved in that? Like that, that they say we have people we want back, so we have someone famous here
so they
that can be used? What's that?
So people know about Brittany Griner because of who she is, but before Brittany Griner was Paul Whelan, an American that was taken, and they wanted to negotiate. I was involved in that. We had the proposal that was under the Trump administration. The Trump administration didn't want to do it, so they took Trevor Reed, who was a former Marine, as well. And still, and we were doing the back channels with the Russians, kind of getting ideas and things to work on this. And at that point, it was already the Biden administration. They didn't want to negotiate over this, and I'll tell you in a second why. And then they grabbed Brittany Griner. So they were escalating. The Russians were escalating in order to get a reaction because there are people that they wanted. And they got
So
some
this
of them.
person wasn't enough. This person wasn't enough. Brittany Griner. Now we've got a tipping point, and it's on ESPN.
Yeah. Yes. And that was all targeted that way. Putin knows us better than we know ourselves.
Right.
But I have to say, because what I say might sound as if the U.S. government doesn't want to bring them back. The U.S. government wants to bring them back. They work really hard for this. Except that the Russian-American relationships are very complicated.
Right.
Every time they would sit with a Russian, before they even start talking, the war in Ukraine, nuclear stability, world order, all these things weigh on that conversation. So the two governments directly are having a really hard time talking through this. Non-government people with no authority on policy can actually talk only on that.
Interesting. So that's where you come in.
That's where we come in.
So as far as politicians, you're saying that on the list of things to go over, the people are like last. And for you, they're first.
Correct. For me, not only are they first, they're the only one. That's the only mandate.
What
that I
got
have.
you into this? What makes you a negotiator?
I
mean, this is you're like out of a movie.
Andrew Jackson's working on that. It's funny. It started to me. I was out of grad school. I was doing my first job. Was actually with the Clinton Global Initiative, 2005, before it became a big political thing here. But it was, in its essence, it's a fantastic initiative trying to get non-government people to actually do good things around the world. And out of a slew of things, I get a phone call on a Wednesday, and it's Governor Bill Richardson. He has this like rough voice, like, "Hey, is this Mickey Bergman?" I said, "Yes, it is. I need you to get your stuff and pack your stuff and get your ass to Santa Fe. You're coming with me to Khartoum." And I'm telling you, Jared,
To where?
to Khartoum, Sudan.
This is Indiana Jones.
But not only did I not know him at that point, I didn't know he existed.
He ran for president, right?
That was before.
Before, okay.
That was just before.
So Governor Bill Richardson, he is New Mexico.
He's governor of New Mexico. He was an ambassador to the UN before, a secretary of energy, congressman. And he was asked by the Save Darfur Coalition, if you remember back in 2006, there was the Darfur genocide was taking place.
Yeah.
He was asked by them to go and try and negotiate a ceasefire from the president of Sudan, the guy named Bashir. And so he started raising money amongst his friends. Some of them are Jewish friends for a charter flight, because nobody wants to fly commercial into Khartoum.
Yeah.
And one
Khartoum Air?
Khartoum Air, yeah, no. And one of them tells him, I'll give you money for the charter, but there's this young kid who does really good work on humanitarian stuff. You should take him with you. So he calls me. And I had 48 hours to decide whether this is an opportunity of a lifetime,
Yeah.
or the stupidest thing I do before my head gets decapitated.
So so you took
I decided not to go, but I decided to respect the governor by flying to Santa Fe. That was my agreement with my wife, and talk to him, have lunch, and say, hey, not only am I not American yet, I'm an Israeli citizen, I'm an officer in reserves. Things can go really bad. I don't want to risk the mission, and then he'll let me go back home, right? That's what I thought. No, he looks at me, and he says, Mickey, do you know what I'm famous for? I said, what is that, Governor? He says, I get people out of jail. Worst comes to worst, you say you spend a couple of months in a Sudanese prison. Think what it will do to your career. And he's like laughing. The next thing my wife knows is that I'm on the phone. It's like, I need to go with this guy. And so I went to Sudan. That's how it started.
So getting out of places is your expertise.
You can say that.
Of all, and so
even though I try to do it without the bombs now.
Right. Well, with Bill Richardson. So now you're matched up with him.
Yes.
And you're now in this position where he comes to you with, this is like, I keep trying to compare it to things I can understand. It's like the A-Team. Like he comes to you with a new gig every now and again, and it's like, here's the deal, this person needs out.
After we came back from Sudan, I was so blown away by what I saw and his ability to actually do that I came to him with
what did you see in Sudan? You just saw that the way someone could be something could be negotiated?
Because he was there, even though he was governor, he was there as a private citizen. He had no authority whatsoever. And he pulled one thing that just, we were there, we're sitting with the foreign minister of Sudan, and in the middle, Calvin Humphrey, who was the governor's chief of staff, he walks in, he says, I have a draft of the statement that the president is willing to give at the end. That's the only thing we can get, a statement, a unilateral ceasefire. And the governor takes that draft and he starts reading it. And he reads it, and then he says to the foreign minister, he's like, hey, I'll let you go back to the conversation. I'm just reading this draft. Give me a second. And he starts talking to Calvin, his chief of staff, not to the foreign minister. And he says, and he starts very quiet. He says, Calvin, I'm not saying what we need, what we came here for. Like, this is not, and he starts getting agitated as he speaks. And before I know it, the guy is yelling at his own chief of staff as if it's his fault. It's like, there's nothing here. This is embarrassing. Might as well stay here. They'll kill me. I can't go home. And he doesn't. I'm thinking, oh my God, why is he treating his staff that way?
Right.
And the foreign minister then turns around, picks up the phone. And as soon as he's not looking, the governor looks at Calvin, gives him a wink, going, do that. The foreign minister at that point was calling the president to say, we need to fix this.
Unbelievable. It was a whole act. It was this is
Yes. Now, if the governor
he's Columbo.
well, if the governor had aimed his anger at the foreign minister,
Right.
he would have dug in. We would have gotten nowhere.
Right. Well, this is a lesson in diplomacy.
Oh yeah, that's why my mind was blown
Yeah.
after that trip.
Right now, I mean, this is a hot topic.
Yeah.
I mean, the book is out, and we want people to go buy the book, and it takes you inside the world of negotiating, getting people out of places. And so it's called In the Shadows, True Stories of High-Stakes Negotiations to Free Americans Captured Abroad. Right now, there's so much emotion that surrounds what's going on in the Middle East. How do you, are you talking with the hostages' families? And how do you cut through?
So one of the things, yes, since October 7th, I've been approached by a lot of families, and have taken up beginning October 8th, actually. At the height of it, it was 67 families that we were in touch with and working on behalf. The number now is down to about 26, mainly because some of them came home with the first deal. Some of them, unfortunately, were confirmed dead. But you're right. We're completely under trauma, including myself, by the way. I can't, because, I'm a hostage negotiator. I'm not touched by it.
Right.
My brother and his 3 kids are displaced in Israel for the last 8 months.
Right.
My mother lives there. Some of the people who were killed, I know them from military time.
Yeah.
And you can't really separate it. And more than that, when you go and you meet with the families and you hear some of the stories and the survivors from the music festival, if I actually took the time to process that, I wouldn't be effective. So I take that in and I shove it deep inside and try and focus on the work. And when it got to me, after 54 days, after we managed to get some of the hostages back, 109 of them back through those different negotiations, the last day it failed and Israel went back to fighting with Hamas, I went on a plane back home. Because I knew there was 10, 14 days that there's nothing to do. I flew all the way from Doha back to my house in Washington. 15 and a half hours flight. Everything bubbled up.
Yeah.
Everything bubbled up. And that was devastating.
Well,
because it makes you question. I'm the guy who goes and talks to everybody.
Right. And you have to talk to the other side.
Correct.
You have to see where they're coming from. You have to connect with them.
Yeah.
And that's the hard, right now with what's going on, there's a lot of yelling.
Yeah.
And if you take a middle ground, you're accused of both sidesing. And for you, and you're just like, and when I hear, this is about people. This is about individuals.
Yeah.
When it's the bigger entities, that's where people become callous and
they lose touch with the humanity of it.
Right.
And right now, look, both sides are in trauma. There's no oxygen in the brain. Everybody wants revenge.
Right.
Everybody wants to hit. Everyone wants to punch. If you're not with us, you're against us.
Right.
At the end of the day, look, one of the things we know, if you want to climb up of a hole, you need to stop digging. And we haven't stopped digging yet.
Right. Listen, I'm pumped you're here because, for me, I sit and watch. I'm also an idiot. So I don't know. When you go on TikTok, you slide. You go from.
By the way, biggest secret that I'm an idiot too.
Okay, good. I'm happy to be surrounded by idiots. But you go on TikTok and you'll learn. Someone will say what's going on right now. It just feels like people trying to win a war of words too, and win a find the abracadabra spell that makes them right and the other person wrong.
Yeah.
And
you know what I think is happening? Because I know it happened to me too. When you, in the name of something that you believe in, for me, the state of Israel, the right of the Jewish people to have a homeland,
right?
Such devastation is happening in Gaza as a part of that. And for the other side, that in the name of something so just that I believe in, by the way, Palestinian rights, Palestinian statehood, freedom to Palestinians, in the name of something so pure and just, something so terrible as October 7th happened,
right?
Our brains can't reconcile that.
Right.
Because how is it that we've been fighting and supporting something that now is responsible for great suffering? So our brain's looking for shortcuts. And those shortcuts, the quickest shortcut ever, fake news, debunk. So every time somebody has a conspiracy theory of why October 7th was a false flag,
Right.
Oh yeah, you see, I told you.
And this makes me feel good. This scratches the itch, so to speak.
Exactly. So we cling to that. But at the end of the day, look, it happened to me too. When I started hearing 10,000 Palestinians died in Gaza, women, children, my instinct was no way. They're exaggerating. There's just no way. And then I had to sit in front of the computer, force myself to watch the videos.
Yeah.
And do I know it's 10 or not 8 or not 7?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. This is happening. And I had to retrain my brain for it.
Well, I want all the hostages to come home. I wish you all the success in the world. Like, I'm cheering for that. But let's have a little fun.
I love having fun. I need that in my
listen,
life.
if I have a negotiator here,
Yeah.
I want to see you in action.
Oh, geez.
Okay?
Okay.
So, Mickey Bergman, In the Shadows, True Stories of High-Stakes Negotiations to Free Americans Captured Abroad. Go buy it. Amazon. We're going to have the link in the bio of this episode, both on podcasts and on YouTube. Mickey, I'm going to give you a scenario.
Okay.
And you got to negotiate the win.
Okay.
Okay? I want to see, okay? So I'm going to give you, okay, ready?
Yeah. Let's see.
We're roommates. Okay? We live together, 2-bedroom place in New York City. Convince me to pay for half of the groceries. I haven't paid. You paid for the last 2. I paid for 2 before that. You want to go 50-50 from now on. And I'm just like,
You say New York City?
we live in the West Village. We have a 2-bedroom place. We're really killing it. We're making a lot of money.
It's a non-starter. I throw you out the window and I take your wallet.
What is going on? This is straight to physical action. Now you gotta be where's the diplomacy? Where's the Bill Richardson of it all?
I know. I need to understand.
Okay, so
Yeah.
okay. So you call me.
Yes.
Yeah. What's up, Mickey?
Tell me.
You get the groceries this week?
I didn't get the groceries. I want to know from you. Are you hungry?
I am starving. I was gonna cook tonight, and I like to cook. You like to clean. I just wanted to make sure you picked up the groceries. For when I get home, I can make everything up. Do you get the chicken?
I'm a vegetarian.
You're a
Have you ever thought about cooking something that is vegetarian?
I can do some veggie stuff. We'll do a pasta. We'll do a vegetarian bolognese.
Vegetarian bolognese. That sounds good.
Okay,
All right,
so
I'll
when you
make
go
it-
to the store, go pick up the veggie bolognese. Go pick up the pasta, and then I'll make it up tonight, and you clean.
Let's do this. All right. I'll go to the store. I'll pick up the meat out of it. I'll make you a special meal.
Oh, you're gonna cook?
I'm going to make you a special meal tonight. But I want you to pick up the vegetarian stuff.
So I gotta pick it up. Groceries are costly these days.
Oh, I know.
Can you Venmo me $100?
How much do you think the groceries will be?
I don't even know. So maybe I'll go pick it up. I'll send you a picture of the receipt.
Yeah.
And then we'll go 50-50. So you got me in your clutches. Okay, let's do another one.
And
Ready?
that's short of me throwing you out the window.
Okay, we didn't. Yeah, I don't want to get thrown out of any window.
yeah.
It's Saturday night.
Oh boy.
It's your anniversary, you and your wife. Okay, big night.
You're getting me in
You
trouble.
promised your wife a dinner at the hottest restaurant in town. Okay? I'm the host at the restaurant. You haven't made a reservation. Convince me to let you two sit at 8 p.m.
Are you a male or a female?
I'm male,
You're a male.
but you're not sure of my sexuality. Okay?
Well, that's all good. I'm happy with that.
I'm giving you all the details.
I'm not.
Okay, listen.
I'm not
okay.
that good looking to play that. Trust me.
Shea Paris.
Oh, I go in person.
You go in person.
I go in person.
Welcome to Shea Paris. Saturday, and your wife is with you, or you go before?
Oh, I go before.
So you would show up.
I would show up.
So this is the art of intimidation. This is the throw out the window.
Either
move.
well,
Okay, welcome to Shea
I'm a
Paris.
smiley face.
Okay.
but it is you go in person.
Okay, so
on the phone,
now
on
you
the
show
phone,
up
you're
at
not
5
gonna-
o'clock.
I show up at 5 o'clock. I say, hey,
Hello, sir.
Jared.
Welcome to Shea Paris.
What's your name?
Mauricio.
Mauricio. Look, are you in a relationship right now?
What is this all about? I have a busy restaurant to tend to.
I understand, but I have a huge favor to ask you. I screwed up.
Sir,
screwed
hold
up
on,
big
excuse
time.
me. Lorenzo, we're going to 86 the seafood special. Yeah, sir.
Do you have
need
vegetarian
you got a
discount?
favor? you need a favor, sir?
I actually do.
What can I help you with?
I screwed up. I married for 20 years. This is our
20 years.
20th year anniversary. And I promised my wife to come to this. This is her favorite restaurant in the world.
Chez Paris is her favorite restaurant in the world.
Favorite restaurant in the world.
Well, we have quite a menu here. We have been rated highly on all the
trust
websites.
me,
Yeah,
I
people know a lot about us. And we're very busy.
And I absolutely screwed up. And I'm done with that. Like, she's going to torture me if I cannot get her in here. If you need me to sit at the bar, let me sit at the bar. But I need to get in here.
Let me just take a look at our reservations here. Sir, I don't know. We are booked months in advance.
I know.
And because when you sit, I have to take someone out of their seat. So how could I really?
Is there any way, maybe after hours, before hours, things that are?
So you can come anytime?
I will come anytime. This is the most important thing for me, is to save my marriage. 20 years.
Save your marriage?
Save my marriage.
Okay, you're in. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
okay, okay, let's do another one. The kids are at home. You have kids?
I have one kid.
One kid. Okay, your kid's at home.
Yeah.
You promised your kid pizza.
Yes.
I'm the owner of a local pizza joint.
Yeah.
It's 7:45 and you're 15 minutes away.
Uh-huh.
We close at 8.
Oh,
Convince me to stay open and make your kid a pie. Okay?
Oh boy, I don't know. Here's the thing. I have
Tony's.
Tony's, you know how I come here every single
Who
week?
is this?
This is
We're
Mickey.
closing in 15. Mickey.
I come here with my daughter, the cute 10-year-old that keeps wanting your pizza every 2 days.
Mickey the Israeli. How you been?
I'm good. I'm actually terrible.
You're terrible.
I'm doing terrible.
Well, with what's going on in the Middle East, I can understand.
Yeah, not that. Forget about that. That's
okay.
easy
So
stuff. My daughter wants pizza. And I'm 15 minutes away.
15 minutes away. We're about to turn off the ovens. I don't know.
Hey,
Leo. Can
Tony,
you keep the oven on?
Tony, tell Leo I will pay him twice.
Twice. Leo, looks like you're taking Diane out on a date tonight. Okay. I like that one. Okay, we got more. You've been getting ripped off by your wireless provider for years. It's time for a change. Mint Mobile doesn't have retail stores or salespeople. Instead, they deliver premium phone plans directly to you. At just $15 a month, when you purchase a 3-month plan, you'll get unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. I love this. Mint Mobile, what they've done is they've gotten rid of the middleman. They've gotten rid of the storefront. They said, hey, we live in an online world. Why wouldn't you get your phone online too? You get to keep your number. You get to, and all your contacts. So it's not, the only change is more money in your pocket. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/JTrain. That's mintmobile.com/JTrain. Listen, people, some of you are sending a check to mom and dad to stay on the family plan, and that check is more than $15 a month. So maybe it's time for a change, time to grow up. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/JTrain. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabyte on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Okay, I'm your ex-girlfriend.
Oh,
we ended
getting
amicably.
worse here, huh? Yeah.
I'm your ex-girlfriend. We ended amicably, but hearts were broken.
Mm-hmm. Mine or hers? Both.
Both were saddened by the ending.
Yeah.
I have your sweatshirt. It's been a month and you realize you really want the sweatshirt back. Convince me to leave it with the doorman at my building. Okay, so I'm your ex-girlfriend. I have your sweatshirt. We've been broken up a month.
Yeah.
This is a very uncomfortable call.
Yeah. How much do I like that sweater? I really
You
like that.
need
I need that
That
sweater.
sweatshirt is very important to you.
I'll tell you what I do.
Okay.
I take a piece of paper
Okay.
and I take a pen.
Okay.
Not typing, not email, not text,
Handwritten.
not message, handwritten.
Okay.
And I, again, by the way, not faking it, genuinely pouring my heart out about how much pain it was for me, the breakout. Now we're turning serious here.
Now you're going to open up the wound of the breakup
Yes.
to impart to them
but
you're hurting too.
that I'm hurting. Yeah. Showing my vulnerability on this.
Yes.
Showing my vulnerability on this. And wishing her the best from it.
Right.
And then asking in that note, saying, would it be possible for you to leave that?
Do you put it at the end? I wouldn't want it to sound like the note was all for the sweatshirt.
I actually write that to make I talk about it in the note that I know I'm asking for the sweatshirt. The note is not about the sweatshirt. I wanted the
acknowledge
the sweatshirt is actually my excuse. It was my excuse to write you this note that I really wanted to reach out.
That I like. That is a move. I like that. The sweatshirt made me think about how much this relationship meant to me. Yeah. Also, I'll be by Tuesday. Leave it with the doorman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's leading with your vulnerability. That actually is something we seriously do in our negotiations.
You lead with vulnerability.
With our vulnerability. And genuine, not fake. Genuine.
You have to be, and it has to be genuine because people see through that stuff.
Absolutely right.
So you lead. So if your sweatshirt is captured
If my
by your
sweatshirt
ex, you lead with the vulnerability about the relationship.
Now you'll go now. Here's a funny story from childhood. My first girlfriend,
Yeah.
Einat, sweetheart. We were together 2 years, broke up. We were both hurting. She still held. Shows you how old I was. There was no phones, pictures, digital. It was all physical pictures. She had some of my baby pictures with her.
Baby pictures.
Yeah. And you don't have copies of these.
No.
She had them back. I really wanted them back.
Why did she have your baby pictures?
Because when we were together, she wanted them. I guess
Like
I
a
was
keepsake?
I was cute as a baby,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know. She was like, hey, I liked you when you were cute. I did not succeed.
No. She kept them?
She tore them.
Tore them up. Yeah,
And I don't blame her. She was hurt.
I understand
But yeah.
tearing them up is more understandable than keeping them.
Yeah, that is true.
Who's this? Oh, it's my ex-boyfriend as a baby.
Yeah, that's true.
I held
Yeah,
on to them. That'd be weird. Okay, let's do another one. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is a good one. This is very relatable. I'm your boyfriend, okay? We're dating. We're dating like 2 years. I follow many women on Instagram.
Yeah.
Convince me to release their accounts from my follow.
Why?
Because you don't like that he's following all these models and women in bathing suits, and every time he pulls his Instagram out, you're sitting there for coffee. All of a sudden, you got this big butt woman staring right at you, and you're like, "Why do you need to follow these? You don't need to be following these. Release them."
Yeah. Two things, I guess. One, I would go and look at myself and say, I have a problem here because who cares about this? But seriously, like
she cares. This is the girlfriend cares.
Wait a minute, I'm a boyfriend.
No, well, you're my girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
You're my girlfriend.
I am the girlfriend.
You're the girlfriend.
Oh, okay. I thought I'm the boyfriend.
No. You're very progressive. How Tel Aviv of you.
How so Tel Aviv of me.
No, you're my girlfriend.
Okay,
I
see,
follow
I
a
see.
bunch of models that have under 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
So I pull out Instagram and I'm just looking and there's a bunch of hot women. You want me to release them from my follow. How do you convince me?
First of all, I think I don't. I leave.
You leave. You just break up with a guy. Not worth it.
Yeah, not worth it. I mean, again, if I was a boyfriend to a boyfriend, still like, hey, who cares? That's fun. This one, it's like, seriously, that's what you're doing? Like, you have a problem.
Where's the vulnerability? This is what happened.
Oh, you have to figure out.
Maybe
he's
he's got a problem.
I don't know if he has a problem.
Okay, we'll do one last one.
All right.
Okay.
I
One
feel
last
like I'm not delivering here.
No, you're doing a great job. This is fantastic. We're learning a lot about
Hey,
negotiations.
that's all good.
I live at the Jersey Shore with my wife and 2 kids. Okay. The weather on Sunday is gorgeous. Monday, not so much. It's Friday, and you want to come to the beach Sunday and Monday. Okay. I say you can come Monday because I have plans on Sunday night. Convince me and my wife to let you come for the good weather on Sunday in addition to the okay day on Monday.
What's my relationship to you?
Went to college together.
Oh, went to college together.
This happened to me.
Oh, really?
All right, I can
Okay.
go. I can go 2 ways here.
Okay, well, call me up, okay? It's Friday before Memorial Day weekend.
You remember
Hello?
that? Hey, Jared.
Mickey, what's happening? Happy Memorial Day.
Thank you to you too.
Thank you. We got the kids here. We're going to be grilling out.
That's
What are you up
awesome.
to this weekend?
Hey, do you remember 2 years ago when we went to Vegas?
Yeah, we had a great time.
We had a great time. Do you remember
Lots
that
of
party?
fun. Great party. I don't remember much. I was kind of drunk.
I know. I have pictures of that.
Whoa.
That was awesome.
That sounds pretty good, man.
Yeah.
So those pictures, we keep those on a private, phone, right?
No, of course. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Exactly. We know everyone knows the
and in the
catchphrase.
Jersey Shore. I need a favor, my friend.
What are you looking to do?
Look, I know I'm coming. I'm planning on coming on Monday.
Yeah, Monday's the day. Sunday, my wife and I have plans on a boat, and we got a sitter for the kids, so we really can't
You
have
have
people
you have
on
you have
Sunday.
the kids over in the boat, or
Yeah,
it's just you and your
no,
wife?
the kids are staying home, and we're going on the boat with some friends of ours. And then Monday, we'll wake up, and the weather doesn't look so great, but you can come over here,
Hey, I'll be straight with you, like we were in Vegas.
just like Vegas.
I want to come on Sunday.
Do you?
Yeah, hey, you know what? Let me come. What are you doing on Saturday? I know weather stinks, right? On
The
Saturday?
Saturday's no good.
No.
Sunday, Saturday the weather stinks. Sunday is
stink.
going to be the nice day.
I know. I have a child.
Yeah.
I know how stinks it is to be when the weather sucks.
Right.
On Saturday in the Jersey Shore with your kids, can't go out, raining.
Right.
Let me come in on Saturday.
So you'll come Saturday.
I'll take your kids out to the Taylor Swift Eras video movie thing for 3.5
not the
hours.
real concert. You don't have that kind of money.
Oh, I don't have that kind. If I had that kind of money, I would have bought my own house in Jersey Shore. I'll take them out off your hands. We're going to go.
Mickey, you're in.
All right, here we go.
This is great, man. Dude, this is so great. Everyone go buy Mickey's book, In the Shadows, True Stories of High-Stakes Negotiations to Free Americans Captured Abroad. So cool. So you talk about the Brittany Griner situation in the book?
Brittany Griner, Otto Warmbier, who was in North Korea.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't he the one that went on his own?
He was a University of Virginia student in exchange in China. And then his university in China had a 1-week excursion into North Korea. All legal. All
Really?
fine. Young kid, smart kid, athletic, great kid. Did not deserve to die. He got home. He was alive, but he was comatose, and he unfortunately died 5 days later. Here,
And I mean, you must become so close with these families.
the families, yeah, absolutely. That Otto was one of the most devastating cases that I dealt with, because for 18 months I was absolutely I went to North Korea to negotiate for him.
What's it like in North
And
Korea?
I failed the family.
Well, I'm sorry. You didn't fail. I mean, you tried your best.
Well,
like,
to me, it felt like I failed the family.
Yeah.
They were very gracious. His mother, Cindy, just like...
didn't that
you know,
become politicized, though? Was there an
Everything
element?
gets politicized.
Everything.
Gets politicized. Even now, when you get people out of Venezuela, 13 Americans came out of Venezuela last December. Even that was politicized.
Right, because it's funny. It's not funny, but I hear the name Otto, and I'm like, I remember. There's so much news now. There's so much.
He was taken when President Biden was president, and he was brought back when Trump was president.
That was the thing.
Yeah.
Interesting, man. I mean, it's you live a crazy life.
Apparently, I should go into negotiating sometimes
pizza
in
the
the
kids.
Jersey Shore for the kids.
Mickey Bergman, thank you so much.
Thank
This
you
is
so much.
fantastic. Everyone go buy the book. The link's in the bio. We'll be back with more. Okay, we're heading to Patreon now. Be sure to watch the rest of the episode. You can watch or listen, patreon.com/JaredFreid. It's $5. That $5 a month gets you 4 extra episodes, the ending to all 4 weeks of the podcast, plus 4 other extra episodes of Coffee with JTrain. So there's a lot there. There's content. V?
No, I love it. I edit the Coffee with JTrain, and it's really fun. It's cool to hear your week.
It is always, it's stories from the week. I'm trying to think of what I would talk about this week. I've kind of just been here.
Yeah, I ran into you.
We ran into each other at Blackstone.
Yeah.
I'm repping them right now, holding a coffee. I love Blackstone.
They have really good wraps, and so I was passing by. I was just doing brunch at my house, and so I was grabbing everything, and I was impressed. It was Sunday morning. You were up
and at 'em. I get up there early, and I just sit.
Yeah, you're chilling. I know
Chill.
that you go there, but I didn't know that you'd be there then. I was like,
love
what's
Blackstone.
up?
I'm there in the mornings. So yeah, I was in the city. I did shows. I'm gonna go to Florida this weekend.
Oh, cool. You're to see your parents.
See my parents. I'm gonna try and golf.
Fun.
I'm trying to golf. I'm trying to learn this game, this wacky game.
Facts.
I tried to golf in New York. I guess maybe I'll talk about that. I tried to find a course. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, you were telling me.
Yeah, it's hard to find spots. Okay, we're going to Patreon. Patreon.com/Jared Freid.